quite often when you're working in the lab, so it could be a medical lab, could be like a technical lab where you're doing analysis. Quite often you have a stock concentration of something, and you will need to make a dilution of whatever that happens to be. Okay, so it's not uncommon to have 1 mole per liter hydrochloric acid hanging around. And then you'll need to make a certain volume at a certain dilution. So in this case, you need 500 milliliters of 0.25 mole per liter hydrochloric acid. You've got 1 mole per liter hydrochloric acid sitting in your acid cabinet. How much of this 1 mole per liter hydrochloric acid are you going to need? Okay, so we need to figure out what our initial volume is. In other words, this is what we're going to use. We're going to be using our 1 mole per liter hydrochloric acid, and we want to know how much of that we have to pour in to make our solution. By the way, always add acid to the water if you are ever in this situation. Okay, we do definitely know our initial concentration. It's 1 mole per liter. We also know that our final volume is 500 milliliters, which is the same as 5 liters. We also know that our final concentration is 0.25 moles per liter. And so we can use our dilution equation. So the initial volume times the initial concentration, which is just going to give me how many moles are present, it's got to be equal to the final volume times the final concentration, because that's also how many moles are going to be present. So I don't know my initial volume. I do know my initial concentration is 1 mole per liter. I know my final volume is going to be, did I say a half liter? Yes, I did, and that is right. And I know that I need 0.25 moles per liter as my final concentration. And so I just need to rearrange this equation for the initial volume. And I can do that by dividing by 1 mole per liter, which actually seems sort of redundant, dividing by 1. But it will make my units cancel out. So 5 liters times 0.250 moles per liter divided by 1 mole per liter. And I'm going to do this calculation in my head. 1/4 of 5 is 0.125 liters. And so if you're following, canceling out all the units, these moles per liter are going to cancel, and it's going to leave me with units of liters, okay, which is sort of important. So what we would do in this case, we would probably take about 300 milliliters of water. We would add 125 milliliters of our 1 mole per liter acid to it, and then we would top that up with distilled water to get to our final volume. So that's the way we would do that.